You know those moments when a simple comment or a text or a kind of look feels like a punch to the guts, and you find yourself reacting in a way that feels bigger than the moment actually calls for. In this video, we're going to discuss how the little things that set us off in everyday lives might actually be clues to a past version of ourselves that we haven't fully met yet. If you're new here, I'm Chinecherem, and this video is a part of life series where I share how I navigate my super personal and relatable everyday life. So there have been times when I'm in an argument with someone and they make a comment and it hits me differently. Let's say we're in the middle of an argument, I'm trying to make my point, and the person says, "What are you even saying?" I don't know how that comment hits me. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but the way it registers in my head, it gets me so riled up. It feels almost like this person has just insulted my entire existence. It makes me feel stupid, it makes me feel utterly disrespected. So I'm wondering, why did this particular comment affect me so much? I've had times when people didn't take me seriously. They made me feel small. And when someone says something that feels like they're dismissing me, it gets to me. I guess it's kind of a defense mechanism for me, trying to reinforce my presence or some form of authority to make them see me. The truth is, I've never been the type to address my feelings. I just ignore them and go on with my life. But when I understood the importance of addressing, or rather expressing them, I then realized that my disconnection had grown too deep. So anytime I hear that comment, even though I know this person's heart is in the right place, I can't help feel disrespected. This is something Gabor Maté refers to as an explosive charge. It describes the built up emotional energy that can result from unprocessed or suppressed emotions. In that moment, you think you're reacting to the present moment, but you're actually reacting to the past. Now, these triggers are clues to some past emotions or negative experiences that you ignored repeatedly and unknowingly haven't healed from. So, what exactly is trauma? It's not just the big stuff like abuse, abandonment, or accidents. Trauma can also be the quieter things like feeling ignored, unsupported, or never really being able to express yourself. Dr. Gabor Maté defines it so well. He says that trauma is not just what happens to you, it is what happens inside you as a result of what happened to you. And they show up in how we react to our lives today. So let's look at the 4 key takeaways from this video. Number 1 is the little things that set us off. Triggers. A trigger is anything that suddenly brings up strong emotional reaction. It could be an action. For me, it's a person's tone of voice. Quite recently, I learned that a particular kind of smell could be a form of trigger for some persons. According to psychologists Dan Siegel and Bezel van der Kolk, they explain that the brain actually encodes emotional memories. What this means is that when a present day event resembles something from the past, even just by a little, the brain will then reactivate the emotional memory. And that's what causes the response that is often disproportionate to the moment. Now, let's say as a child you were told to be quiet when you try to express yourself. Now, as an adult, when someone interrupts you or says something like, "What are you even saying?" it might trigger that same feeling of being silenced. You might feel hurt, you might feel angry or embarrassed, even though the moment doesn't seem as a big deal to others. And so you react. The truth is that that strong emotional reaction isn't about what just happened. It's a clue. And this takes us to point number 2. Clues point to past version of you. Imagine your younger self, 7, 10, or 16 years old. You experience experiencing something painful. Maybe you're being laughed at when you try to speak, or you're ignored when you're upset, or even being made to feel too sensitive or not good enough. At that age, you probably didn't have the support or the words to process it. So what did you do? You buried it, you moved on, you survived. But those moments, they didn't just disappear. They got stored emotionally in your body, in your nervous system. So now, as an adult, when something similar happens, even in a small way, it touches that same mood. It brings up feelings that were never truly dealt with. And tip number 3 is that your life has revealed what you still carry. When a small moment makes you feel too much, you want to ask yourself, when was the first time I felt this way? So back in the day, I was in a vehicle with some elders, and I saw a hole on the car, and through the hole I could see the ground as we drove. So I thought it was interesting. So I called on one of the elderly people I was with to show him the hole. Now, and the other elderly person rebuked me with a "don't interrupt when elders are talking." I felt hurt. So by taking the time to understand where or when you started feeling this way, so by taking the time to reflect and understand the first time you have started feeling this way, you might find that you're not actually reacting as your present day self, but as a younger version of you who felt unseen and unheard. Now that is the version of you that you haven't fully met yet, part of you that needs attention. Not judgment, not shame, just understanding and care. And finally, what do you do with that clue? Instead of saying, "Oh, I overreacted," try asking yourself, what part of me was hurting in that moment? And this is the work of self-awareness. It's how the little things create doorways for healing. They help you to uncover parts of yourself that were forgotten, silenced, or shaped by the pain you went through. And that's all for this video. But I want to hear from you. If you've noticed any triggers that catch you off guard, or maybe you found something that helped you heal, drop it in the comment section. If this video resonated, give it a thumbs up, share with someone who might need it, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more talks like this one. Thanks for hanging out with me today. See you in the next one.